What are you doing today, Maureen? Oh, the blossoms are coming out. Look at that beautiful tree. We are getting to that middle of March. The weather is getting beautiful and warmer here. Of course, you can see sort of in the back there that, you can sort of see green grass. We're green in the winter and brown in the summer because it's just too expensive to water. I'm taking on this mission to grow your own food, and we need to get going with it. Here on Vancouver Island, we can already be starting our starts and planting, and I've been a little bit behind on that. But I thought for some of you that maybe don't have a mild winter and spring, so you're going, it's not time to plant, Maureen. It's like winter out there. But this is exactly when we do need to be planning. So I am going to take a little trek to the dollar store because I want to make this economical, and we're going to just see if there is some things that we might need from there. I have seen sometimes that they do sell seeds there. It might not be as viable as what you would get from more brand name seed supplier. And I think with this project that I'm going to be working on, I think I would like to actually buy starts, and usually like a 6-pack of vegetables will be a couple of bucks. It could be up higher in price this coming year, I'm not sure. But to start, the first thing is go grab a pen and paper while I'm driving around. To start, we want to think about, what do you want to grow? What sort of vegetables? Do you want tomatoes? Cucumbers? Do you like radishes? A lot of people don't like radishes. But let's say you're a person who does a ketogenic lifestyle. Roasted radishes are a great alternative for potatoes. So you might want to grow radishes. Would you want to grow potatoes? That would be another thing. Lettuces are also important because I remember a couple years ago, they wanted $7 for one very wilted romaine lettuce. So romaine, or whatever type of lettuce that you like, you want to make sure that's on your list. Pea pods, that would be another wonderful thing. And it's an early producer, so you get to eat those early. And of course, green beans. I do love green beans. And particularly, I love Romano bean. It's a little bit broader and sweeter in taste. It's quite delicious. So we all need to be writing down, what are we going to plant in our little garden plot? So you've made your list of what you're going to plant. And then the next thing is, what are you going to grow in? If you are on a deck, you might be only able to have planter pots. And so you want to have plastic ones or grow bags, but grow bags leak. So not necessarily do you want grow bags. But if you have the money to pick up wood, you could make yourself a wooden planter. Garden center. I love stuff like that because it's so pretty. So there is lots of tools and things that you could get. If you are brand new, you might need a trowel. So looking at this one, this is not bad. I don't necessarily like how this is attached. I think that might slip out over time. So I think this is the same kind, just a little bigger. There is this kind, but having the wood, not so good either. And they do have these tall trowels. That's interesting. So, look at this. Now I like this one because it is just one piece. So you're not gonna have it coming apart. Oops. I think that thing is all dropping down. I wasn't even touching there, I was down there. But anyway, back to this one. So this is a great trowel, $4.75. It's one piece, so you're not gonna have the handle separate from it. It does do your little inches of how far to go down, so that's kind of nice. So that would be a really good little trowel to have. something that isn't going to just fall apart, especially when you're digging, because that can happen. Some netting also might be good. So check out some netting, because you know, as you're starting your starts, you might want to just have the netting over top. And I'd also buy a little bit of frost protection fleece, because if you are starting and you get them outside, you might need to cover them up if it's still not warm enough. I bought these before, never used them. I like the concept of it. You're gonna put a water bottle, but I couldn't find a water bottle to fit that, so don't get that. Some jute twine, that's another good thing. You know, get something that's longer, because it will disintegrate over time. I do also like these types of labels. This one is very, very big, so that's nice for a big pot, because you write with pencil and then you rub it off. Another good thing to have is this. It's kind of like Velcro. It's hook and loop. So for supports, if you need to loop things up. Oh, and look at this. They've got the little scratchy thing in that same style. So that would be another good thing. And if you wanted to have a little bit of cute decor, you could also do that. But again, you know, our goal here is to plant some food and not be spending some money. Oh yeah, here's the small labels here. I think I will get some of those. Zip ties, these ones are nice and small, so that might be a nice thing to have. Ooh, hanging S-hooks. That might be a handy little thing. So far I'm not seeing anything that is for staking up. So like your beans and things like that. You know, a pole for staking up. But we're also going to be using some welded wire. That's also another thing. But so since we don't see a pole, that's okay. So this is where they do have some seeds. I'm going to pick up some zinnias, because I think this is where I got them last year. And they're only 99 cents, which is great. And I do believe that this is a company, yeah, this is from Mackenzie Seeds. So it's just awesome. So get some zinnias. I already have marigolds, but that's another nice thing to get, because that is going to be a good pollinator, as are the zinnias. But there's quite a bit of veggies in here. There's some dill, some basil. I think I actually need more basil, so we're gonna take a basil too. Lettuce, you got radishes, tomatoes, cucumbers. I think it looks like zucchinis. Pretty much you got everything here that you would need for just some basic veg. That's pretty darn good. $3 to get, you know, some flowers and some herbs. So seed starting trays. They do have these ones. These, they don't feel very sturdy to me, so I wouldn't do those at all. Let's look at these ones here. So these little ones, these are actually pretty sturdy. 20 little pots. So you could do that. There also is this type that are eco-friendly. You just need to have a place to put them in, which you could use those, but again, not sturdy, probably will crack. But these look kind of good. And they do have this little kit here. Has a whole bunch of little things in it, including your little tags. So that's really good. That's $5. You know, that gets you a few little pots like this, and then small, and it does, this is your little greenhouse. So I don't know, maybe I will purchase this little kit in case you purchase it too. Okay, so at the dollar store, we spent just about $8, which is not too bad. I also needed to pick up some potatoes for dinner tonight. And, you know, we didn't need a whole lot of them. I just thought, well, I'll pick up, you know, 6 yellow flesh potatoes. And I had bought one other little thing, and it came to $13. And I thought, what did I buy? The little fly trap thing was like $4. So what the heck did I buy for $9? My 6 yellow flesh potatoes were $9.17. I promptly went to customer service and I returned them, because when I walked into the store, I saw the 10-pound yellow flesh potatoes for $6.99. And it's like, I went, oh, I don't need that many, so, you know, it'll just be a couple of bucks. So $7 for 10 pounds of potatoes. But if I hand pick them, they charge me $9 for 6 potatoes. You really need to grow your own food. I basically wanted to say rant over, but I am just absolutely appalled at the cost of just simple potatoes. So back to our pots. I need you to go and get some pots, and I need it to be inexpensive. They're nothing fancy, but your best bet is to look on Facebook Marketplace for free pots. Or when you're driving around and about and someone just leaves them on the side of the road, stop your car, go pick them up. Because I do know that the plant pots also get very expensive. I'm fortunate enough to have a big enough mouth that I always let people know that I am always accepting plant pots. If you live on Vancouver Island and in this area, you can feel free to contact me and I will hook you up with some free pots. But if not, look for free ones. And the other thing that's really great for me is that I've got a dear friend who is an amazing gardener. That's what he does for a living. And so when he is landscaping and stuff, he gets lots of pots. So again, he always calls and says, Maureen, do you want more? And it's like, yes, I do. So he brings them over for me for free. And that allows me to give them away to other people, so that it's like, here's another little savings for us gardeners as we are starting out. So whenever you can, wherever you can, get just some plain black plastic pots, and sturdier ones if you can. Let's go over the checklist of things that we need to do. First thing is, what do you want to grow? And if this is your very first time and you feel like I'm still too afraid to do a whole bunch of things, then just decide on even just one thing. You go, I'm just going to grow one pot of maybe lettuces or cucumbers or tomatoes, something simple like that. The second thing is that we need to get some pots, and different sizes of pots depending on what the item might be. So my cardamom here, it's in a very large pot, and a pot that size, that would be great for like 4 or 5 lettuce plants. And you can see just how big it is. I should get a measuring tape just so that you have a better idea. You're also going to need some soil. And I would recommend an inexpensive store and buy a few bags of soil. The best thing I would say, if you know someone who does love to garden, ask them where they get their soil from. Or maybe they even make some and you could just take some from them. So we have the items that we want to grow and whether we're going to use seeds or starts. We've got our pots and our soil. Now the next thing is when to be planting. One of the great things is that you can Google that. It is a good idea to look at what zone you're in, and you can see what your last frost date is. So I'm zone 9B and my last frost date is April 18th, and that's always an approximate. So some things I can plant earlier, like your brassicas, so the cabbage, broccoli, cauliflower, kale, Brussels sprouts, those things can be started earlier, and things like lettuces, your bok choy and your su choy. One of the things that I have is, this is called Clyde's Garden Planner, and it is fantastic. You line up the red line here, what is your last frost date? So mine is April 18th, and it'll show me of when I can first planting of my onion sets. They can be out now, at the beginning of March. Peas can be planted. Spinach, middle of March, so right around now, is the cabbage and the cauliflower, so things like that. But you can easily Google those things once you decide what you're going to plant. When is the best time to plant your lettuce start? Or if you're doing seeds, getting those ready. For me, the first planting for potatoes, since I have my little rant about the potatoes, that's going to be within the next week or so. I can actually put them into ground here, which is fantastic. $9 for 6 potatoes is ridiculous. I hope that you will join me in growing some of your own food, whatever that is, even if it is one thing, or if you do have an area in your yard that you can actually plant more vegetables in. But I'm focusing in on people who are way too afraid, or they only have a little deck on their apartment. So that's where I'm leaning into that to go, let's grow that together. But I will be doing all my other planting along with making these videos. So with the next video, I will be using these for grow your own food project that I'm doing with you. But in the meantime, I'm just gonna go ahead and start planting my su choys and my lettuces that will be in pots and a few other things. I hope you're having a great day wherever you are, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Take care and God bless.